Ever since I was younger, I was into video games.
Somebody like the Fuse so I can bring bad news to all these crews who can't NBA jam with the shoes.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another beer review. Look at us doing a beer review. It's been a couple weeks, but this beer spoke to me. I've been on a West Coast beer kick for the last, year and a half, and I've been extremely excited ever since Modern Times announced they were doing this beer. And that beer is double dry hopped Booming Rollers, and this can is absolutely amazing. The regular Booming Rollers can is white and blue. It's mostly white with this color blue stripes, like how these stripes are. So they decided to make the double dry hop version all blue like this. It's kind of like that Carolina blue color. Fantastic. 19.2 ounce stovepipe can. Not mad at that. 6.8% alcohol by volume. Double dry hopped IPA. Booming Rollers, my favorite West Coast beer that Modern Times does. It's a seasonal beer. It's usually available in the beginning of the year, I think. Might be towards the end of the year into the beginning. I thought it was like January to March, but I could be wrong on that. I reviewed like the original batch of Booming Rollers years ago when they were still doing 22 ounce bombers of the beer. And I loved this beer. It's my favorite West Coast Modern Times beer. Citra, Motueka, Centennial, and Citra Cryo hops in this one. 2-row caramel and white wheat. This was canned on August 14th, 2019. Today is August 23rd, so 2 weeks in the can. Haven't been buying beer, haven't been seeking beer out. I knew that this got released, so it's been sitting for a couple weeks already. Hashtag Team Old IPA. We are going to use our oversized Modern Times tulip glass because I love this glass and I figure it's a good glass to have a almost 20 ounce beer in. And as we always say, proper glassware makes beer taste better. Try it if you haven't. Let's get into it, shall we? It is a warm day today. It is mid-80s in North County, San Diego. It's been a crazy week, crazy work week, crazy week with the kids, and they're back to school started this week, and baseball's back in full swing. So haven't really been drinking beers. And I'm not upset about that. It's been nice to take a break, but I've been wanting to try this, so I figured we would fire the camera up and do a review. So it is crystal clear in the glass. Looking at this beer on camera, it looks really, really dark. It's not that dark. It's like that light kind of amber color. Solid finger, super bright white, fluffy head. This beer is not even 7%, so we're not going to get any glass lacing, but look at that. It looks awesome. It does. It looks really, really dark. It looks super, like almost an amber ale, like a red ale. It's not that dark. That's the light fooling your eyes on the camera. So let's go ahead and shove our nose in this one, shall we? That smell, this actually, it's funny. If you've ever been to the Loma Land brewery, this is what it smells like when you walk in the door. That's really strange saying that because if you've never been there, you will have no idea what I'm talking about, but it smells like the brewery smells. But this has a killer, it's Citra and Citra Cryo. Like, you're getting that awesome, wow, we can't use our words today. That awesome, like, citrus note. It's like this sweet kind of orange, sweet tangerine. It's a sweet, sweet citrus, like overripe oranges. Maybe even a little bit of like that mango skin. But it's got this killer sweetness to it, but it doesn't smell like that malty sweetness. It just, there's this cool sweetness, and I don't know like what that's coming from. It's got a cool, I don't want to say mint because mint isn't right, but there's something like really, how would you describe that? There's like this cool, you talk about like going outside earthy, like plant matter. You see a tree, you can smell a tree when you walk by it. You smell like a bush when you walk by it. It's got like that kind of earthy thing, but it's not to the funky earthy thing. It's weird. Like I know I said mint and now I'm thinking like spearmint. It's not intense spearmint like that, but it's got like this bright, vibrant kind of vegetal thing. Vegetables probably sounds bad. It's probably the right word, but it sounds bad. Every time I hear vegetal, I think like boiled like collard greens or something. It's not like that. It's just this cool vegetal thing. I don't know. I guess you'd have to smell. You'd have to smell what I'm smelling. But yeah, I love the sweetness to it. It gives almost like that sweet kind of. Think of like smelling something. Like what candy is it smelling like? Like think of smelling like a citrus kind of Pez thing that has like that sugary kind of powdered coating on it. It's almost like that, like kind of powdery coated citrus hard candy. It's funny now that I said Pez, like I'm really smelling like Pez. I'm having like that flashback memory of Pez. It smells killer though. I mean, it's sub 7%. You're not smelling booze. It smells like it's going to be really refreshing. It's really, really hot. It smells like I can chug this. So let's go and taste it. Cheers. This is Booming Rollers. It says it's double dry hopped, so you would expect it to be like crazy in your face. I don't think it's like intensely in your face, but it tastes fucking delicious. And maybe that's what that extra hopping does. I'm not sure. This isn't one of those crazy, intense, super bitter, over the top, like West Coast hop bombs. It has this cool bitterness on the finish. It's like that pithy citrus, pithy orange, pithy grapefruit kind of a thing. It kind of lingers on your tongue, but that sweetness that I was smelling from whatever that is, it's there on the finish, and it kind of balances out that bitterness. It kind of starts to want to go over the edge and kind of like dig into your tongue, and it just balances the beer out nicely. It makes it crazy drinkable. Yeah, everything that you smelled, with like all the, like I was saying, it's like overripe, really sweet citrus, tangerines, oranges. That kind of bitterness that's lingering on my tongue, the back of my tongue, reminds me, I was saying maybe we're smelling like a little bit of mango in there. It kind of has that little biting mango, not peppery finish, but there's, anytime you have a beer with mango in it, you get like that kind of intense thing on your tongue. That does that. I love this. Usually I don't like sweet beers, and this, it doesn't go malty sweetness, but there's that sweetness on the finish of this that balances out what wants to be intense on your tongue. Does it say, it says 50 IBUs. It's not crazy intense, but it's got a cool bitterness. It's like that earthy kind of whatever vegetable thing we were smelling too. You kind of get that green sort of note, and not green like hop matter green. It's like green kind of earthy, piney the right word? Maybe. We said minty, kind of like that spearminty thing. You get that on the finish of this. This is a killer beer. I love this, but I'm also on a West Coast kick again. Not that I'm over hazy beers, but I would pick all day, every day, a West Coast IPA over a hazy IPA right now. It's just the way I'm at. I got really burnt out on hazy beers. That's all I drank for like 4 years. So I'm kind of going back on this West Coast thing, and something like this is absolutely amazing. It's great. It's fantastic. Super drinkable. 19.2 ounce can. I found this at a little liquor store next to my office. $3.25 for a can. They sold these individually. I don't know what the price is at the brewery, but you figure $3.25, $50. That's $1. What is that? $14 for a 4-pack of this. That's not terrible. A $14 4-pack for almost 80 ounces of beer. You can't really beat that. Didn't have to stand in line for it. Didn't have to sign up for anything. Didn't have to do anything online. It's funny, I saw a check-in on Untappd, and someone's like, let's not get carried away. Like, let's not get carried away. Why? Because there's no hype behind this, because it's easy to get, it's readily available. Like, let's get carried away. Stuff like this that's sitting on the shelf is awesome. More beer needs to be like this. There's so many just shit beers that sit on the shelf. You have something like this. I mean, for $3.25, you get a 20-ounce can of amazing craft beer. How can you can't beat that. Modern Times, they're so solid. I've said it plenty of times. They're my favorite West Coast brewery. I love their branding. I love their everything. Their merch. I love just everything about them. Their spot in Encinitas is awesome. The food is fantastic. Everything about them. They're opening up spots in Oakland now. They're in Santa Barbara. Anaheim's going to open. Like, they're taking over the West Coast, and I love it. I'm so stoked on Modern Times. So, yeah. That's Double Dry Hop Booming Rollers. I'll try not to ramble. I know these videos can get long, and it's just me rambling on and on. I apologize for that. But if you guys can find this, I recommend picking it up. It's definitely worth your time. If you're a New Money Haze bro, you probably won't enjoy it as much as I'm enjoying it. But if you're into West Coast beers again, this is something, like I said, I don't trade beer anymore. I haven't in a couple years. But if you know someone who's a Modern Times person and can get you these cans, I would say this is worth your time. It's cheap, it's readily available, you don't have to trade the farm for it. You'd be able to enjoy 3, 4, 5, 6 of these, have them in your fridge for the next couple weeks. Fantastic stuff. So that's it. I'm out of here, guys. I appreciate you guys watching. I know it's been kind of long in between uploads, but that's kind of how it's going to be from here on out. But like I said, when there's beers that speak to me, I'll throw the camera on and give my thoughts. Whether people give a fuck or not anymore, you don't have to. It's no big deal. So we're out of here. I'll see you guys very soon. Craig, let them know.
Thank you for coming behind the bar, in the arcade, all that shit.
Ever since I was younger, I was into video games.
Somebody like the Fuse so I can bring bad news to all